I want to do a podcast about films.
I'm not stopping you.
No, with you, you fool.
Oh, so you mean you want us to do a podcast about films?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say that?
I did. I am.
Well, you can't say films. You need to say movies. It's a more broadly recognised term.
Yeah, don't worry about that now. Are you interested?
Well, we can't just talk about films we like. That would be boring.
Okay, then what about films we don't like?
That sounds even more boring.
Okay, how about this? Films we disagree on.
Ah, intriguing. So one of us likes it, the other one doesn't, and we discuss our opinions on the film?
I think you mean movie.
Yeah, don't worry about that now.
But yeah, that's the gist of it.
All right, I'm in.
Great.
Could still be boring, though.
You're boring.
I don't see how that's relevant.
Should we do one now? Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where two complete amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon and I'm joined by my good friend Carl, and we'll be explaining our opposing viewpoints and seeing whether we can movie the needle for one another. This week, we are discussing the 1987 science fiction action film directed by John McTiernan, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the leader of an elite paramilitary rescue team on a mission to save hostages in a Central American rainforest, where they encounter a skilled and deadly extraterrestrial. Muscles and flying testosterone ensue. It's Predator! Yeah, sure.
Paramilitary. You happy with that?
Paramilitary?
Paramilitary is what you just
I
said.
said paramilitary, no?
Well, I mean, that's what you were trying to say, no doubt.
I said paramilitary.
I'm pretty sure when we listen to the tape back, it's going to say paramilitary.
Oh, thanks for pointing it out after we've recorded it. I mean, I know I'm a one-take wonder, but you know, I would have re-recorded it just if I completely fucked up.
Do you want to re-record it?
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I mean, why use the word paramilitary when I could have just used, I don't know, mercenaries or something? That would have been a lot easier. Yeah. Although I might have called it like sermonaries or something. Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, military would have done it. It's not important.
But yeah, well, you do it next time. How about that? Huh?
No. Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, fair point.
Then it'd be my mistakes.
Yeah. Could be here forever, trying to bloody get one out, as it were.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, Carl. We are here in the pube for maybe the last time.
Could well be the last time.
Maybe the last time. Exciting / sad.
Yeah, could well be the last time.
Sad mainly because I have to walk to your house and it's just really less convenient than going upstairs into mine. So
yes. Be roomier though.
Yeah, sure.
There'll be less less touching of legs under the table.
Well, exactly. Sad occasion, as I've said.
Yeah.
But pleased to say, Carl, even though I was rushing to get this preparation done, there is a game for you.
Very excited.
So I know you've come to expect it. So it's less of a treat now. So when I don't come up with a game, I know you're going to be disappointed, but I've managed to come up with it. I've called it Matchenegger. It's not a great name.
No, it needs work. It needs work, yeah.
That's the bit that I had to save time on coming up with a decent name for it. But we'll workshop it as we go.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Hey, changing gears, have you seen Aladdin's Cave is up for sale?
Is it?
Yeah. So the real banter move would be for you to buy it and open a coffee shop.
Oh. Actually, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah, you could beat Ted's.
Yeah. No, ice cream shop, though.
Oh, well, ice cream shop, yeah.
Aladdin's Cave for sale. Christ.
Yeah.
So for those listeners who don't live around near us, Aladdin's Cave is a seller of all kinds of
bric-a-brac.
Shit. Oh, bric-a-brac. There we go. Yeah.
Shite.
Yeah. just absolutely. How it's lasted that long, I don't know. Yeah. They must own the place.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are not covering rent. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Oh, cool. Interesting. Ooh, is there a sign out and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a handwritten note stuck in the window.
Of course.
With of course, a mobile.
It's probably owned by bloody Ted. He's probably sold up so he can.
Yeah.
So he can move.
He needs to sell, to finance the. It's hit the bricks.
I haven't been able to find a barista or a manager, so now I need to sell this place and spend all the time. Yeah, he can't run both.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else has been new? Have you watched any movies since?
I don't think I've watched any films this week. Oh no, I have. I've watched
it's
one.
It's been like 3 days since we recorded last.
Yeah, that's true. I've watched one. I've watched After the Sunset with Pierce Brosnan and Selma Hayek.
This isn't part of the Before trilogy that's taken a bit of a jump.
No.
After the Sunset.
Yeah.
Selma Hayek and Pierce Brosnan.
It wasn't great. So it's sadly reinforcing my belief that Pierce Brosnan might not be a very good actor.
Yeah, I mean, I think Is that not quite a widely held belief?
Well, if it isn't, I think perhaps it should be.
Yeah, I mean, he was good as Bond. Liked him, enjoyed him. You wouldn't say he was a thesp, though, would you?
No. Hey, you watched a Bond film this week?
I did watch a Bond film.
Which one was it?
It was Goldfinger.
Nice.
A good one.
Oh, yeah.
Very good one.
Yeah.
Some hilarious moments. Just how they've aged and stuff is just.
That's the first one. If you watch them in order, as I did recently, as you know. Recently, how long am I going to keep saying that?
About a year.
Yeah. Yeah, in 9 years' time, I watched that recently. That is the first one where they really commit to the overblown elements of the Bond universe.
Yeah. My favourite part, perhaps, was the opening scene where he comes in his scuba gear, right?
Yeah.
With a seagull on his head.
Is it a seagull?
Or
is it a
whatever,
duck or
some
something?
sort of seabird.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
I was just like, all right.
I like that because he peels his dry suit off
to find the tux,
but he's still got his shoes on. It's just like, they'll be sopping wet then.
Who's left? Who's left all these
If you're
footprints?
walking through the...
Is that you or my shoes?
Oh, she's called Pussy Galore in that as well.
It is. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't get more ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they don't, I mean, you could just literally see, because he basically says like, oh, today must be my day, or today's my lucky day.
You say it couldn't get more ridiculous. There's one in a later movie.
Oh, it can definitely get more
O'Toole.
ridiculous. Plenty O'Toole.
Yeah, and he goes, named after your father, presumably, or whatever.
Nice. That must be a Roger Moore one, surely.
I can't remember. Yeah, let's say yes.
But yeah, I'll be watching a few Bond films anyway, as I've said, because we may have a Bond film coming up. And
I'm very excited about that.
I'm doing a little bit of background research on the old Bond, so we can have a bit of a Bond conversation.
Yeah.
It seems you watched them all. I can't commit to watching them all. But,
It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fairly easy going though, isn't it? But yeah, there we go. So that's all I've watched. You got anything else? Anything else going on? Any apologies?
I have got an apology.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. I think I should probably apologise to the comic book fraternity
Okay.
for calling comic book movies dumb before then having it pointed out to me I might not have understood Joker.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, there's complexity there, mate.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Good.
I mean, I reserve the right to walk that back again
After you've
if I
watched
ever
it,
rewatch Joker again.
you're
Now,
wrong.
what are you
No,
talking about, mate?
You just made up.
Yeah. But as things stand, yeah. Sorry, lads.
Good stuff. I don't think I have any apologies. I am pretty
Unrepentantly
much
racist.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Just a general apology for being me, I guess, is what I can do there. Yeah. Is it time to unveil the ale?
Oh, nice. Right. Got a little link to the film. Do you know it's really difficult?
Predator.
Yeah, you would think you'd find a beer called
beers in
something
the
like
movie.
Predator or some sort
Mandibles.
of monster thing or something, right? Actually, quite difficult. So in the end, I've gone for a beer by Northern Monk.
Okay, well, I like Northern Monk.
Yeah, and it's called
Good, solid local
A
brewery.
World Away.
Okay, go on.
A session IPA.
Oh, well, Alien.
yeah.
You think
You would just go, World Away.
Extraterrestrial,
Yeah.
World Away.
Yeah,
Cool. I've not had this though, so I'm quite. And there's 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Exciting. So this is a session IPA, and the best co-pilot this side of the galaxy. Oh, is this Star Wars reference?
Yeah.
Boldly juicy. Craft brewed with northern pride and orbiting with boldly juicy flavours.
Toss us a glass.
Oh yeah, shit, sorry. Forgot my role in this. Glassware provider. There you go.
There they go.
Every time.
What's that? Have you banged the microphone stand again?
No, just spurts on me.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Won't be having that, will I? Because I'll be walking over to you. These beers will be just freshly in the beer fridge in the shed, our shed.
There is a beer fridge in our shed.
Yep. And we'll just be taking it out nicely. Oh, I changed my mind. Let's move there now. Let's stop recording. We'll just go over.
Very nice.
Yeah? Okay, first sip.
There we go. Northern Monk, A World Away. Thoroughly decent.
Good brewery. Like them.
Yeah. Full-time good lads.
All right, so this week we are talking Predator, the 1987 version. But before we start talking about the film, heaven forbid we should get straight to it, we'll remind everyone of the ratings in case this is your first time. Where have you been? Why start here? So many questions. But we have a simple 5-point scale. You really don't like it, you don't like it, you're ambivalent, you like it, or you really like it. Okay, so let's find out where we are both on that scale. So we'll start with you, Carl. Where are you on that scale?
I really like it.
He really likes it.
I really like it.
Oh, this is a rarity. So this is very similar, I feel, to The Thing. I'm going to say I don't like it. There is definite potential for movement.
Yeah, I mean, this could go a couple of ways. I mean, I like this more than I like The Thing. Will that spill over into a more compelling argument? I think not. I think I've written so many notes. I got so excited.
I found it very easy to write notes for this, which was strange.
They're just usually when all over the place.
Yeah, they weren't very... reading them back, sometimes I've just written something. I'm like, no idea what I'm talking about. I need to write more context. But anyway. So, Carl, why do you like it in a short, punchy little summary?
Yeah, listen.
Or really like it, sorry.
My opening gambits have been punchy as you like recently. I've realised though that this one reads a bit like a Bernard Manning routine though. Hang on, is he the racist comedian or the turkey guy? Bernard Matthews.
Matthews
No, it is
is the
Bernard
turkey
Manning.
guy. Yeah.
No, they're probably both dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife said to me.
All right, okay.
My wife said to me, she said, and I didn't watch it with her. I should have done. I watched it with a friend.
A friend?
Yeah, because she liked this one.
This is outrageous.
But she said, is this the Get to the Chopper one? Which is a sign of we are dealing with an absolute classic of the genre here.
Or at least one line, at least, yeah.
Oh, there's more than one line. Wash your mouth out. So we've got, with this film, we've got a star, probably the likes of which we'll never see again. You've got an original idea, and it's made at that magic time where these sorts of movies were like unflinchingly sure of themselves.
Unapologetic, you might say.
Absolutely. So I watched this just with a huge smile on my face. I was absolutely lapping it up. It's so unapologetically cool. It's badass. And if nothing else, this film deserves praise for giving birth to the greatest piece of musical theatre the world has ever seen. I'm, of course, talking about Predator, the musical. And if you haven't had the pleasure of that, I shall show you later on.
Excellent. I look forward to that. So, the reason why I'm saying I don't like this, I think this is very much by comparison to lots of other people, I don't like this. So, there is a lot of fondness for this movie out there. It is, from the fandom, it's pretty universally liked, if not loved, from what I'm getting. I never watched this as a teenager or necessarily even a young man. I think, I can't actually remember when I watched it, but I feel like it was in the last, 15 years or so. But just didn't really leave much of an impression. Left me pretty cold. Now, I don't know if this is, again, a genre thing that is just not quite my thing. But similar to The Thing, writing the notes, as you're writing them, and you start going like, I've written quite a lot of positive things about this as I'm going. So as we're talking about this, there is potential that it could just be a case of this is a bit of a classic which I've completely overlooked or just potentially slept on it. So let's see. Okay, let's kick things.
Would you like to repeat that little dig and following response?
Well, I said that. I think production might be the longest section here. You said you've got.
I've got loads of notes for all of it.
So, well, try not to repeat yourself then. And you said,
I promise nothing.
Yeah, there we go. But we'll try. Anyway, let's kick things off with the cast.
I don't think you understand what I promise nothing means.
I'll try.
Yeah.
So the cast. We kick things off in one place and one place only, I suppose.
Shane Black.
No. Sonny Landham as Billy. No, of course, we'll start with Arnie as Dutch. What do you make of Arnie in this?
Yeah, and this is interesting. It's not his best acting performance in this. He's not. I think he's a bit underrated as an actor. I think that his accent gets in the way for a lot of people. And actually, in today's world, very globalised world, like weird accents shouldn't be a thing. But I remember as a kid, he used to really get beaten up over his accent. In fact, if you read his autobiography, he makes a big...
It's a good autobiography.
A big deal of it. It's a really good autobiography. Yeah. There's a documentary on Netflix as well, which goes over a lot of the same ground, but also some different. And I recommend anybody to watch that.
You would be a fan of that, going over the same ground.
Yes, well, quite. He is a fantastically interesting bloke. Has obviously some.
He's done all right for himself.
Some less than impressive stuff in his past as well, of course. But yeah, really interesting. So I think he's a serviceable actor. Probably not at this point, but I wager it doesn't really matter in this film. And he looks incredible in this film.
I'd say he's looked pretty lean for Arnie.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight for this film, which is an incredible statement. You look at the shape of
the guy. Lean for him. I mean, for most human beings, he is still giant.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still very much Arnie.
Yeah.
He's doing Arnie things. We had this conversation before, movie star.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Then, at least.
Yeah.
Not now.
No, not now.
But he went through that phase, where it was you would watch an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Very bankable star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It like in this, he was Arnie. Not really much to be said. You maybe could have got someone else doing a similar thing, which we'll come to in the recasting, maybe. But yeah, it's good and entertaining, isn't he?
Yeah, I love Arnold. Who are you going next?
Carl Weathers. Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is that how you greet your boss every day? It really should
Only
be
on
if
special
it isn't.
occasions. Yeah.
By the way, died 2024.
Yes.
Carl Weathers.
Wasn't he in our game?
Oh, maybe. Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, have we killed anyone? Did we?
Oh, not looked.
We've got
unless they've been on the Olympics. Don't know.
Yeah, we've gotten to the airs. Okay. Yeah, Carl Weathers. He's really good. He's definitely the best actor in this.
Yeah.
He's the most charismatic as well.
He is actually an actor, right? As well.
Yeah. He's great. His
well
character
cast.
is
well
the
cast,
most. Yeah. I think the casting in this is fantastic. Although there's a read on this which says they weren't really casting at all.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, his is the most complex character. And then they're not very complex, any of them in this. But his is the most.
It's a low bar,
and he delivers. I think he's brilliant in this.
Yep, he was fine. Yeah, good. Mm-hmm. Not much to say.
Yeah, well, let's follow that one up with Jesse Ventura, who absolutely is not acting, and I'm here for it. It's brilliant,
and he's alive.
Yes,
he's still alive,
which I think is a pity if you look at some of his political views.
Carl.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for the whole bullet thing.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, I think we have to say, unless you want to save that for a future apology. Or you want to write that back.
How can we do this? Yeah, no, just have to wear that one.
Okay, there we go. Fair enough. So yeah, Jesse Ventura. I can't detach his performance. The body. Yeah. I can't detach his performance from the chewing tobacco. Is there anything more disgusting in the world than chewing and spitting tobacco? Is there?
I don't want to say the line in riposte to you.
Go on.
No, I don't want to say it.
Go on.
No.
Come on, go share.
Sonny Landham.
Sonny Landham. Billy. He's great.
He's very mean looking, isn't he?
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Died in 2017.
Yeah. Which some people might say, given some of his political views. I tell you, let's move on. let's move on.
Good stuff. I did read that they had to have a bodyguard.
Yes, that's
for him
that's
to
right,
protect everyone else.
Yeah,
from
apparently
him.
he was an absolute psycho.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which I like. I like the sound of that. That sounds brilliant.
Oh, he's mean. He's got a great intro in this as well, which is just the stare to Hawkins
with the jokes.
No, I think it's on the
chopper.
On the chopper, yeah. When he's, I think it is a joke, is it?
Yeah, when he's doing the
he's doing one
joke.
And the his intro is just literally just to shoot him the filthiest of looks. He looks so mean.
Skipping ahead a little bit, but it's well worth talking about the intros now. So if you remember back to the thing, it was kind of one of my main problems with it was like...
I did wonder.
I don't know who these characters are. There's too many of them. They're not clear who's what. I got confused. This, very clear. Very, really simple, clear introduction to all the characters, what they are, straight from the get-go in that helicopter scene.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually really well done. You've got, the shaving guy, likes to shave. Yep. You've got the glasses guy, Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins.
You've got the tobacco guy,
Blaine.
Yeah. You've got the Joker. Oh wait, the Joker is the glasses guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's confusing. There's another guy,
Poncho. He's like the
He's
professional sort of. He's a bit more everyman sort of.
Yeah, he's the only one that didn't really have a strong intro, I'd say. But all the others, you kind of get, because you have obviously have the Arnie introduction to Dylan thing with the
most manly handshake
the
ever
most
committed
ridiculous.
to.
It's the fact that they just keep it on there for a good 20 seconds, 25 seconds.
Yeah,
and you're just like, okay, you're still going.
Yeah,
okay, you're still going. Yeah, we get it. You've got nice big muscles. Carry on.
Shiny.
Very shiny.
Very shiny big muscles.
But yeah, I thought that was actual strength. I'm not saying they are incredibly developed and deep characters, but they are very much simple. You can identify who they are and what they are. So yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point, because I did wonder how you'd be with the big cast. But you're right, it's
a manageable size.
It is handled differently.
Yeah, and it's a manageable size. I think there's only, 6?
Yeah, 1,
6
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. What about Shane Blacker's Hawkins?
7, actually, 7. Yeah, I mean, he's
alive.
Yeah, well, he directed The Predator, the 2018.
And wrote it, yeah.
One, which I'm not a fan of, it has to be
said.
I've
not seen it, to be honest.
Yeah, he's okay. Again, he's got his character's, a bit different to the rest, and that stands out by virtue of his massive glasses.
Yes.
How 80s were they?
Yeah, which he wasn't a fan of, but grew to like them on reflection.
Okay. Yeah.
He was also writing The Last Boy Scout whilst on set. Have you seen The Last Boy Scout?
I want to say yes, but a long time ago.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Apparently, the producer has said he was only cast so that he could keep him close to review the script of this one. So he must have been busy writing his own one, I guess, to not review this one too much. But there you go. Some other little tidbits from the cast side of things. It sounded like they had a ball when they were on set. Lots of competition between who's got the biggest muscles and things like that. Arnie got Jesse Ventura's makeup people to say that, not makeup, costume people to say that, oh, your arms are bigger than Arnold's. And then he was just like, yeah. And I was like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
I told him to say that.
I'm sure that's in his book, isn't it? That he says.
Oh, God, possibly.
Or it's in that documentary. But I don't know if they had a great time all of the time, because
not on set.
I was going to say there was a bit of
shitting through an eye of a needle.
Yeah, there was a bit of Apocalypse Now vibes going on in the old production.
I mean, they actually filmed in a jungle.
Oh yeah, very much, which I'm sure we'll come on to. Very much on location, very much practical.
But that does come with the whole things that live in a jungle thing, like lots of things that will kill you, bite you, whatever. No thanks, not for me, Clive. No.
Do you know about the Predator casting?
There was Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he actually is in some of the scenes in the sort of camouflagey.
You can kind of tell, because it's a much smaller thing in a couple of shots.
Or is he just far away?
Yes. And apparently he was a bit of a diva on set.
Well, I can't imagine why he would want to do it, because he wouldn't know it was him. It doesn't seem up his alley at all. Down his alley.
Oh, well, I think...
when take off his helmet and he'd be like, hello.
He might have done Bloodsport by this point, so yeah.
Oh, as in he wasn't really a thing?
Yeah, but he might have just done Bloodsport, so it's kind of like... But then on the other hand, I guess his agent's going, look at the cast.
Yeah.
You want to get in on this, even if no one's going to see your face, sort of thing. But yeah, that didn't work out.
And recast?
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name.
I've got it. Hold on.
Kevin
Peter Hall.
Kevin Peter Hall, yeah. Who plays Harry in Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
Oh. Well, there you go. He's quite tall.
Yeah, 7'2".
2. Yeah. And he died, 1991. Cheery cast, this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lord of
death.
Lord of death.
It's almost as if steroids are bad for you.
Yeah. He does actually appear on screen.
He does, as a helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known had I not read that, but nice.
So it's in the credits, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, which is like, all right.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Maybe that was the compromise that they were going to give Jean-Claude. Like, don't worry, you can have this little.
You can be a helicopter pilot.
Face. Yeah.
Yeah. Any others?
I just called out. Well, I did essentially have them all. Bill Duke as Mac, I thought very, very menacing. He had a little bit to do when he essentially went crazy. He's pretty good. And Richard Chavez as Poncho, who I thought was probably the most human of the soldiers.
I'm really not remembering him.
Again, he's the one that's sort of most affected by the skinning alive, and then he's the one that speaks a bit of Spanish and sort of not in the first instance, but looks after the girl a little bit.
It feels like with the character's so big and overblown and OTT. I think that's maybe why I'm forgetting him, because he is a little bit more normal, potentially.
I always liked him as a kid. Don't know why.
Yeah?
Yeah, always liked that character.
Well, there you go. But you hate the Spanish. We've already been over this.
No, this was long before my pathetic attempts to learn a second language.
Fair enough. Recasting?
Right. It's tough, this. Because they just don't make action stars like this anymore. These days, they'd give it to someone like The Rock or Chris Pratt, and it'd be fucking awful.
Yeah, I've done a little modern recasting option as well.
I've done a modern one. I've only done a modern one.
So what about a Stallone or a...
No, Stallone couldn't do it.
A Jean-Claude?
No, couldn't do it. Could
Stallone... I reckon Stallone could do it.
It's too small. But then, I don't know how tall the people I'm going to suggest are, so...
Let's consult the height chart.
I don't know. So the modern ones I've gone for, I mean, you're looking at people like that Alan Richardson, who's got that sort of presence, that hulking presence.
He's fucking huge.
I don't know how tall he is, but Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he's pretty big.
Jai Courtney.
Oh, yeah.
You saying that? Do you know who he is?
DC. Yeah, he's been in some DC stuff.
Yeah, well, I think of him as the villain in Reacher. Jack Reacher, the first Jack Reacher movie.
And he's also been in one of the newer Terminator ones as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, is it Dark Fate?
Can't remember which one. Yeah, can't remember. He was Thingy Connor. What's the fuck his name? I think in one of them.
Was he? I think he might have been Kyle Reese.
Oh, maybe it was Kyle Reese.
Yeah,
no,
I think it was Kyle
right.
Reese.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, I even thought of someone like Charlie Hunnam as an outside shout. Less so for the physicality of it, but the sort of like the seriousness of being able to leave. This is all for Dutch. Yeah. Being able to lead that mission sort of thing. But the one I've actually settled on was John Bernthal. Bernthal. Yeah, I would say that. Because I think he's quite a good actor, and I can see him
plays
playing
John Bernthal very well.
Yeah, I can see him playing quite a sort of a big presence.
I thought you were going to say Kurt Russell.
No. Too small again, I think.
I don't know how tall he is.
Yeah.
Any other... Well, I said Stallone was my main one of the time one. The Rock would be definitely the modern recasting, like it would be in it.
It'd be awful. So I've actually got two wrestlers for other characters. Right.
Okay, go on.
One is not a good actor, and it's for Blaine.
Yeah.
Any guesses?
Dave Bautista.
No. Oh. He's a good actor.
And a wrestler.
Yeah.
So come on,
but he's a good actor. The not very good actor is Steve Austin. Right, as Blaine.
Yeah, that would be awful.
It wouldn't be awful. It'd be just Blaine reincarnated. Because That is it. Blaine is the silliest character in that.
Is that Jesse Ventura?
Jesse
one?
Ventura.
Yeah,
Jesse the Body Ventura. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. It's his full name.
Batista, or Dave Bautista, recast as Billy.
I went for
Billy
Jason
needs a bit
Momoa.
more. Yeah, not a bad shout. Yeah, can see that.
Yeah. I went Dave Bautista for Blaine.
Yeah, I just think
Jason Momoa
he's
for
better
Billy.
than Blaine Batista. That's the thing. But yeah, Momoa, like that. I've got a Mac.
I haven't got a Mac.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Good actor. I've got a Hawkins. Bit of an outsider, bit different, bit of a wet. James McAvoy. Good actor. We've got a Poncho.
This would be a very different film with good actors in.
Got a Poncho.
Okay.
Bit of an everyman, speaks a bit Spanish. Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, like Pedro.
And then
Maybe a bit too small part for him nowadays.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the best bit of recasting for Dylan.
If you say so yourself.
Idris Elba.
I've got him. Idris Elba, yeah, for Dylan.
There you go. All right,
yeah,
so,
same.
So it turns out you say so as well.
I don't claim it to be good. But yeah, it's the one that came up. What about for the Predator? It's got to be Andy Serkis, right?
Oh, God, yeah. It would
Do motion capture.
Yeah. Andy fucking Serkis.
On stilts.
Yeah.
Cool. You got anything else?
Nah.
Alrighty. All right, let's move on to production. So, director, John McTiernan.
What a great director of action he is.
Yeah, so part of the fabled McTiernan run, as we've mentioned this before, haven't we?
Have you looked? He's one film away from turning it into like an arguably
What was
5 or 6 film run.
What was the dud in the middle?
Oh, I've never heard of it. It's like I don't think it's an action film. Hang on, I'll get it up with some classic movie the needle on pod googling. Okay, John McTiernan. Here we go. So he did 1987 Predator.
Yep.
Which, as we know, 1988 Die Hard. Oh,
I mean, so 10 out of 10. I've already said that. Less so, but you know.
Oh yeah,
still
but
good.
it's a great film.
Mm-hmm.
1990, The Hunt for Red October.
Mm-hmm. Which I watched for the first time fairly recently. Talked about on this pod already, haven't we? Yeah.
Very, very, very good. 1992, Medicine Man.
Medicine Man?
Yeah, never heard of it. PG-13, rubbish.
1993,
Last Action Hero. Now, this is where I say arguably, because, you know, that's got a bit
Last
more of a
Action
mix.
Hero didn't... Yeah, I was going to say...
It's got a bit more of a mixed reception.
That was a proper flop, wasn't it? A big budget.
Yeah, although I've rewatched it and there's some good stuff in there.
I reckon I'd probably quite enjoy parts of it because it's taking the piss a little bit out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
and in a way, I think it's probably a bit smarter than it got credit for in terms of being a flop, which is a shame, but there you go. But then he goes on to do Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I didn't realise he did the third one.
Which is just, I mean, if you need to reinvent a franchise, what a way to do it.
I need to rewatch that because that could be potential pod fodder. We'll see.
It's really good. And then he does Thomas Crown Affair. Honestly,
I remember seeing that at cinema,
yeah.
you know, Thomas Crown Affair. That's the Pierce Brosnan one, right?
It is, yeah.
With Rennie Russo.
Yeah, then he does The 13th Warrior. Never heard of that. Then he does Rollerball, which is a remake and a flop. Then he does Basic, and then he goes to prison.
Did he go to prison?
Yeah, he's got mixed up in... Yeah, he's bad. He's a real bad man.
Oh, fuck you, John McTiernan.
Yeah. But, director of action, he's got some bangers in his filmography, no doubt.
He didn't go to jail for directing some action, did he?
I don't know what he went to jail for.
That's not. What's the word?
I don't know. What, it
But
depends
you
what you're trying to say, really, doesn't
you
it?
stay on something. No, let's
Dwell.
Dwell.
Yeah.
Dwell. Let's not dwell on it. Despite having just dwelled on it because I couldn't think of the fucking word dwell. Anyway, production. So, where do you want to start?
Honestly, mate, I am all over the place.
Yeah, me
I've
too.
just got so many excited notes.
Okay, go on. You kick off.
I mean,
I'll throw the downer in.
I've written down the intro and the music. His classic late 80s, early 90s action movie.
Yeah.
And then I put, in all caps, love it.
What did you make of switching right to the end, the outro?
It's weird, isn't it, when they film them all like to camera?
It's just so cheesy. It's
very
it's
80s.
like, yeah, you
very
couldn't,
80s.
Like, if you did it now, it would be because you're taking the piss out of having done it then. Like, you couldn't do it with a straight
No,
straight face.
strange.
Because when they're almost like they're recorded not in character almost. They're kind of just like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Dylan. Oh, you son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
that's very strange.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so the intro and the outro are on brand for very different reasons.
Yes, yeah. Because we've shot around all over the place during the cast, I've got to work my way through my notes and figure out what we've not said already. So, action scenes. Let's go straight to them.
Right.
It's an action film. What did you make of the action scenes?
Well, overall, I think the production, as we've sort of already touched on this, is really good. This is a proper production. This isn't a cheesy movie. We can talk about that maybe a bit more in plot, but the action, with one exception, is really, really well choreographed. There is there's a little sort of story throughout each action scene. It's not just the story's the wrong way of putting it, but it's not. Like if they make it today, action scenes go on. Yeah, there's a flow. They go on too long and they're very repetitive. That's not really the case here. And when they are big and loud, they are, and it's great, and they look cool. There's some really great shots throughout, but there's some especially good ones with the action. And when they are tense and sort of scary, they are too. So I think the action scenes are fantastic in this.
So I'm going to disagree with you a little bit about some of the action scenes. So I think there are some that are a little bit overly repetitive in how they're doing it. So first example was let's say first, I might not have a second. The example that sprung to mind as I was watching it was when they're attacking the village, the camp or whatever.
Yeah, the guerrilla camp.
Yeah.
That is my exception.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So with the throwing of grenades and things, and it's just like, body flies out, and then they do it again. It's like,
that is the most.
Bodies fly out.
That is the most trope heavy bit
Section
of the film.
Okay.
So I sort of agree with that. And actually, have you seen?
I feel like they could have done some real good variety in there as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was ripe for it.
Have you seen Hot Shots Part 2?
So long ago that
they
I couldn't
really
actually
take
recall
off so much of that. I mean, it's predominantly ripping off like the Rambo films, Hot Shots Part 2, but they take off that scene and right down to the slow mo deaths and the bodies like throwing themselves off buildings when they've been shot and all the rest of it. But as rough around the edges as that is, or sort of as cheesy as that bit is, it does give us the classic line of "Hey, you're bleeding." Ain't got time to bleed.
Have you got time to duck? I quite like that
as
well.
That's it. He's there being all manly, and then it's Poncho. When you've got time to do it, he's the one that gets the job done. Loved that little exchange. Oh, and we also get Arnie's stick around.
I thought that was pretty poor though on his scale of one-liners.
Well, there's a fair few to go at,
and improvised apparently that one.
I'm not surprised
because there's some big story about they got this big machete thing, got someone in to design it. It was too unwieldy to actually use, so to get rid of it,
that's what
did it, and it stuck around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, it's not up there. But we'll come to that, Carl, because there's a little game in a second that's going to be very related.
Very excited.
But whilst we're on the Arnie one-liners, again, like I don't think this one was too strong as well. Where you just knock knock.
Yes.
I was like,
yeah.
Come on, there's no pun there, is there? There's no.
The problem with it is, I mean, I don't disagree. You've got to remember, they weren't the trope that they are.
No, I suppose, they only became a thing after doing a few.
It's like the handshake. The handshake is a meme now.
Yes.
But that was just...
I read a review just like, that's where the meme comes from.
But that was just like, this is going to look really cool. And, if you commit into the bit, it does.
I mean, they definitely committed to it. You might say overly committed, but they did commit to it.
So, but no, I don't entirely disagree.
Yeah, and I think while we're sort of talking lines and script, like the more memorable lines are because they are just ridiculous. So like the greeting someone, Dylan, you son of a bitch, who said that a few times. But I mean, it's just
this is another great, very very 80s 90s line from Dylan in that scene, and he goes, "'Cause some damn fool told them you were the best." It's like, that's very on brand.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. They do also use the term that we're not expendable. It's like. And they made a movie of the Expendables. As well. But the script work, there's a couple of clangers. One of which was when the female character, no idea what her character name is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Her, which is like, he was like a chameleon. And yet, you saying they were killed by a lizard? It's like, no. But it's just a ridiculous line. But it's kind of on brand with the characters. They're a bit over the top. Let's play the game now before we talk about it. So, working title, matching Schwarzenegger, one-liners to films. So I went for Matchenegger, but I'm sure there's something else there. Pairs in there somewhere or something. But anyway, we'll figure out after the pod.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll figure out when it's too late.
Yeah. So there's an easy or a hard option here, Carl. So how confident are you?
Let's go for the hard.
Okay. So I'm just going to read you the quote and you're going to tell me the movie. Then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the easy option was I would give you a list of movies that you.
So we're not matching anymore. So does this help your pod?
Yeah, not really. You're matching the quote to a movie in your brain.
It's not, right. Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, I could call it. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've got it. Anyway, so starting off nice and easy for you.
Yep.
Okay, so if you get this wrong, you're fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Now is that one or two?
Yeah, that's don't overthink it.
Well, I mean, it is also, I think, in 3 as well. Now, let's test The Terminator.
Oh, Carl.
Is it Terminator 2?
It's Terminator 2.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's when he's talking to
yes.
fucking John Connor, isn't it? Yeah.
Come on.
All right, fine.
Okay. I did nothing. The pavement was his enemy.
Oh. Is that...
It's a tricky one.
Kindergarten Cop?
Oh, you're kind of on the right lines, but not that one. One of his other silly ones.
Well, these silly ones you're talking about. Junior or Jingle All the Way or Twins.
Hey, Twins. There we go. Got it, it's Twins. You'll get this one. I'm confident in you. Remember when I said I'd kill you last?
Oh, Commando.
I lied.
Yeah, Commando.
There you go. Well done. That's one. Well done. You got one. You'll get this. I think you'll get this one as well. It's not a tumor.
Oh, that's got to be. Ooh. Oh, shit.
My Arnie accent needs work, by the way.
Yeah.
I really wish I could do a good one, but what can you do?
No, I don't know now. Is that Junior?
Oh, no.
That Kindergarten Cop?
It's Kindergarten Cop, yeah. Okay. You're fired.
Oh, True Lies.
Yes, well done. That's 2?
Yeah.
2. Well, you should definitely get this one because it says a character name in it. You think this is the real Quaid? It is.
Total Recall.
Well done.
Yeah.
And you should probably get this one as well. Eyes to see you.
He's Mr. Freeze. That's Batman and Robin.
Well done. And finish this one. Fuck you, asshole. Oh, that was better.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my entry phrase.
Yeah, isn't the end to that is just no, fuck you, or whatever.
I don't
know. Okay, yeah. So fuck you, asshole. That's a Terminator as well. So that's Terminator 1 in the bar with the motorcycle.
Yeah, we got Terminator 1. It also appears in another one.
And
probably some others, but these were the two I was aware of.
Would that be in The Running Man?
No. Commando. Already came up.
There's Commando as well.
Yep. Yeah. So not bad. I think you got about 50% in the end.
50-50, yeah. Oh, maybe even inched ahead of that with the last one. But very good.
Anyway, that's a Matchenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Write in if you've got a better name for it. Let us know on the comments or the email or social media thing. Thanks.
Any and all of that.
Yeah. Right. What else you got? Oh, let's skip. Can we skip to effects?
Yeah.
So, pretty practical effects. We're a fan, aren't we, Carl?
We are a fan.
Practical effects.
We're a fan of practical effects.
And I think this is a real strength. It's that old man again who was involved in the thing, I think, as well, wasn't he? No, am I getting confused?
I don't know what's his name.
Winston. No, did he not do the
don't know.
thing? I think I may be getting confused. Anyway, doesn't matter. Practical effects are good.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Predator itself. I was going to say himself. Not sure it's necessarily binary. Who knows?
Scary looking.
Yeah. So I think actually brilliant. Like the design of it. And when they do the full reveal, and the full reveal they should have done, we'll come to that. You kind of see it from multiple angles, and you kind of get the full scale of him when he's like fighting Arnie, like 7'2" size of him, and it's generally like it's a very impressive thing. And then obviously they spend more time up close and personal, and then you have like the face reveal as well, which is obviously very much animatronic-y kind of side of things, which again I think was very cool. And you just wouldn't get that. It would be CGI'd nowadays, and it would look shit.
They look worse in subsequent Predator films because they do more CGI.
Trying to do more as well, I think, aren't they? Trying to do more rather than just be like,
it always looks worse because it just has that whiff of, I can see through. I know that's not really happening, and you cannot beat it when your eyes are telling you, no, that's really happening. We don't know how they pulled it off, but that's really happening. It looks great. I think they tried to do it on the cheap first. And it was a difficult decision to sort of, triggered by obviously Van Damme's Paddy, it was a difficult decision to go away and went, no, right, sod it. Let's pay the guy the money because he says he can deliver sort of thing. And they came back with this reworked monster.
Stan Winston, sorry.
And it's really good. And actually, this is a strong point of the film, I think. It's interesting. You sound like you might disagree a little bit. The design of it, and then getting a secondary reveal when you take his thing off again is smart
I do
because
like
it's like you've got this. Oh, what does it look like? And we drip feed it, and then you see it, and it's like, well, it was still another surprise yet. Really good.
So the bit on the reveal that I didn't like is I think they revealed too early. So there was a part when he was like healing himself and doing that, where they then they did just a zoom out quickly and showed the full thing. And I think you could have just waited until he gets caught in the trap.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not very much longer, but you're just like, it's just a slower reveal. You're like, oh, okay, oh yeah, you've seen his hand, oh, you've seen that, oh, and then you see the full thing. Or even waiting until you see him full on in its full scale.
Yeah, fair enough, because as a general point, how good is it that we don't see him?
Yeah, exactly.
Away? It is. I mean, I remember being shit scared as a kid.
If they made it now, right, you'd have a whole little entrance extra room saying goodbye to his wife before he coming down to earth, strapping his gun over, going, just going hunting, love.
Yeah. loads of alien exposition
exactly
at the start. Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to know anything.
Yeah,
they do add a little bit, don't they? Where they just.
I think they do actually. I've got. I suppose I've maybe got a bit of that in plot as well, but I think they actually do a really good job with the exposition throughout because it's tight. Right, we've already said that they don't get too deep into any of this, but it's tight and it's enough to keep it going. But they do keep dripping it in.
Yeah, no, they do.
And actually, when you think, obviously we didn't know this at the time, but when you think how it's gone on to do the Alien versus Predator thing. So much of that lore around the Predator is already built in this first one, like with the hunting and the trophies and the.
Yeah, I mean they make a classic mistake with future films of trying to explain everything and doing more. Well, I mean, I've not, to be fair, watched them much, if at all. But yeah, the one thing what just came into my head. And we were talking plot there, but just because you mentioned it, I thought it was quite smart, and it kind of comes into production. It's kind of script kind of thing of it. But how they, obviously the intention was they're going to rescue these things, and it's obviously revealed that the hostages aren't a thing, and that's slow real. But they don't dwell, that's the word I was looking for. They don't dwell on it too long. It's straight into then, it shifts into a different kind of movie, a kind of... almost like a slasher.
I've seen that
kind of movie.
Mentioned slasher actually.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting. It kind of comes in 3 parts. There's the initial bit, which seems very much a traditional mercenaries coming in to save the day kind of thing.
Well,
then switches.
Let's talk about this in production, because I've seen quite a few people say, when you read reviews, "Oh, there's the second half's better."
Really?
When it's go, I found the first bit boring when the monster reveals itself and it starts killing them all. The second half's better, and I think, and we've sort of already said it, that is a bit of a misunderstanding about why the second half's good.
yeah.
Because
you have to lay the groundwork.
You have to lay the groundwork. You have to get that payoff, and that's why the second half really hits home, because they've done that. I think there's a ton of good production decisions on this film. I think it's a really well made film. Another
practical effect that I appreciated as well, the razor. He's got the shaving thing, and he's just like pressing really deeply and snaps it, and then you get a bit of blood. Apparently, that was improvised as well. So they had to frantically rig up a razor which squirted blood out of it. I'm just like, this is just so
good, isn't
clever, isn't it? And they do these things. They would have just added that in CGI. In post,
they would.
The one thing on the creature design, and we're all over the place today.
That's fine.
But the one thing on the creature design, and it's not really the design bit, it's the I guess the character of it. When they made it laugh, I didn't like it.
It's not his laugh.
I know, but it made it too. Oh, as in he's.
It's Billy's laugh. It's Billy's laugh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's Billy's
laugh. All right, I apologise. That's fine.
No, I know what you mean, because you can take the bit at the end when it's doing that big manacle laugh, and you can go, "Oh, that's a bit sort of maniacal."
There we go.
Thank you.
Mandible laugh.
Yes, it's doing that big maniacal laugh. And I know what you mean. That's a bit on the face of it. It's a bit like, oh, we're really leaning into the monster trope. But it's Billy's laugh that he did to Hawkins' joke, because he was there.
Ooh,
he was there listening to that, and you heard that through.
And And he does it other bits to it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, that's better.
Yeah.
Well done, them.
What do you think about the? So I mean, I've already said, like, production-wise, I think the way they drip feed the reveal in, I think it's fantastic. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. Yeah. What do you think of the
skinned bodies?
Well, no, not the skinned bodies, but
fucking hell.
Well, yeah. Talk about shock value, Jesus Christ. What do you think to the sort of the method they chose to give it that advantage? The heat sensitivity, the heat thing, thermal imaging, and
they extend that in future iterations of it though as well, where you get more and more different kind of visions and things.
Yeah,
they only show like the heat one and something else in this soundy thing, don't they, or something?
Well, it's got the sound mimic thing, whatever. But
I really like that, and it's the part of the slow reveal, isn't it? Because you're like, well, what the fuck is this thing?
Very, very smart. Because
is it someone with technology? Is this a thing?
Yeah.
Is it?
You've just turned it into like this sort of, because they never see it. It's almost like this existential threat to them, and then it's clearly got this technological advantage. Technological. Okay, now I've only had a bit.
Sounded alright.
Yeah, I should just commit to it in true 80s action movie style. Just styled it out. I thought that was really scary, and again, pretty smart, really. And then another.
As he frantically scrolls through his
notes.
Going,
trying to find where we are, all over the place. Part of that reveal is you see its hand.
Yes.
In its imaging.
Yeah.
And it's at that point, that's where you first get, so it's not human. Now, we sort of know that because we've had that cold open bit with the spacecraft. Anyway, you know the bit before the credits? We see the spacecraft orbiting the world, and then it jettisons something.
I have no recollection of that at all.
Fair enough.
Maybe I'd stop watching. I was still writing my notes. I was still writing the Predator, fourth.
So we sort of know that, but it's a really, like, that's the first glimpse we actually see of the thing.
Did they actually have that?
Yeah.
That's really upsetting. I wouldn't want them. I think they should get rid of that.
Yeah. But yeah, they have.
Is that in there? Are you sure?
It's in that, yeah.
I'm gonna have to rewatch. I don't remember that at all, and that's actually.
It's like 5 seconds, right?
Yeah, but that's bad. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
I'll show my hand and ruin the.
Is that one of the changes?
Section. That's my only change. Actually.
Yeah, that's shit. I didn't see that. You watched a different version, maybe.
I mean, it's possible, but
I have to go after this. I'm going to rewatch it, and
I always knew it as being
not rewatch the whole thing
in
just
there.
The first 5 minutes.
Really,
I don't recall that at all, and that would be really annoying.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said,
why would you do that?
I agree.
Ugh.
But no, the slow reveal is really good, and I find the whole sort of things they chose for it as menacing. And of course, then the way then that Dutch negates it with the mud.
Yeah, and it's the old problem as well, where it's like, this is not an intelligent film. You don't need to explain. This thing as well. But they had it. It was just like, you can't see.
Yeah,
me.
he said,
We know.
Yeah,
fucking.
He did say that. Yeah,
We know.
Yeah, we can't see. But I don't know which they sort of came up with first. But it's so good because at that point in the film, we've had like I'm getting way too much into plot, but we've had like your action film with your mercenaries. And the first bit is almost a bit like competency porn, right? We show them as being very, very competent, elite, all the rest of it. They're blowing up that camp and all the rest of it, and that's good. But in the background, we've got this sort of threat. We don't quite know what it is. That's then very, very superior to them, obviously, as it rips through them. And then you've got the mud thing, which just tips the power back, and it's such a smart way of doing it. And like I say, I don't know what they came up with first. Whether they went, well, how would he negate that? Well, we'll have to think of something, or whether it was sort of the other way. And I don't know, but yeah, loved it. It was a really good sort of mechanism for giving it an advantage and then giving him a way to level the playing field. I think it's an incredible monster. I really do.
Yeah, I would agree that it's you can tell why it's people wanted to reuse it in multiple different ways and. Obviously, go on to the Alien versus
the Alien versus
Predator.
And you know, on the mud, how good are some of the shots of Arnie in the mud, especially when he does the with the torch and calling it out and everything.
Well, I liked as well. It called back to Apocalypse Now thing, all like mudded up and camouflaged up with the white eyes showing in the dark and stuff walking through.
I thought there was another callback to Apocalypse Now right at the start with Dylan in the background. No, with Dylan in the background, the smoky room, the CIA.
Oh yeah, similar sort
in
of
the
thing.
back.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered if that was deliberate or whether that's just a trope. Who knows?
Yeah, probably is a trope, isn't it? Mysterious background character smoking.
Yeah. But no, there's some really good shots around that.
Yeah, they sort of did this tracking up to Hawkins' body when he was killed as well, and that was a really nice shot. And there was a few in there. What about visual effects? So obviously they have the camouflage side of things.
I've seen loads of people trashing them. I didn't think they were that bad.
No, I'd say it's definitely aged.
Oh, of course.
Like, as you would expect. But again, if you're going like what they achieved at the time that it was, then you're like, that's pretty fucking impressive how they did it as well.
Didn't think it was that bad at all.
And now it's just like, well, it's fine. Yeah. Like, it's not obviously perfect, but it's fine. They did try and put a red, because they had to make it a red suit.
Yeah, because it's a green background.
Yeah. So they tried, he wanted, for when they're in the trees, they put a monkey in the suit.
Oh, to test it or something?
No, just to like get him going through the trees and stuff like that. Yeah. But the monkey was really embarrassed that he was put in his red suit, so he just hid. I've no idea if that's true, but it sounds brilliant.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
the only other thing on production, I say the other thing, there's more. Stunt work.
Oh, yeah.
So there was one bit of stunt work which looked awful. And it was when he was falling down a waterfall. And it's just the most un-Arnie person that's falling down a waterfall.
Yeah, okay, don't recall it.
But you know, you're not meant to notice these things, are you? And it's just when it kind of stands out, then it's obviously just a sign of something like, oh, that's not right. But apparently the guy blew his knee out doing that as well. So, you know.
Sorry you found his work awful.
Yeah, sorry. Not only was it bad for him, but it was bad. And then sets. We've talked about filming in actual jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone getting diarrhea.
Yeah.
But you get that realism, don't you, with the filming on. When you say filming on location, right? This is one of those things, you know, I filmed on location. Does that mean it's filmed at the location it's saying it is, or it just means it's being filmed on a real location?
Well, the problem is
we don't know what we're fucking talking about.
We don't know what we're talking about now.
Let's say it's filmed on location.
Yeah,
in Mexico, I think it was, and I think they just say it's somewhere in Central America, don't they?
Yeah.
But you can tell, you know, when they've got real jungle.
Oh, 100%.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, 100%. I think that Before I get to that, what do you think to the hand signals?
Hand signal?
Oh, the hand signals really stuck with me as a kid.
Or it's just like, go over there.
Well, there's a few. Yeah, he does that. Well, you've just done one when it does that. I saw a really good review of this, which just said, let me get to the quote, and it's in one of the scenes where he does some of those hand signals, and I'm just like, oh, they're so cool. This review just said, me to my family every time we go to the shopping mall, we move 5 meter spread, no sound.
Oh, that's good.
No, I loved him. Just remember that, and I would have definitely been running around as a kid, just like directing some imaginary army around. I watched this very young, by the way.
Too young.
No, so I have to thank my dad for his commitment to making sure I watched a lot of films when I was a kid.
Inappropriate films.
Well, no, what he would do, right, is as well as catalogue them all in both the number of tapes, the tape number that they were recorded on, and alphabetically, should you ever want to look them up. What he would do with something like this, because I would have been like 8 or 9 at the time, he would cut out the particularly gory scenes or like the F-bombs.
Really?
So the first time
so
the first time I watched it, I've never seen the bodies in the helicopter.
Right.
I see, seen the scene going up, and then sometimes you sort of tell me as well, there was a bit there cut out or whatever. Likewise, when I watched The Terminator for the first time, didn't know there were any F-bombs in it.
That's commitment.
He was like I say, got to thank him for making sure I was going to have a film education.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's going to be...
Because I was going to ask a little follow-up question there. Do you have like a memory of a film that you remember watching too young and it kind of leaving you a little bit like, fuck?
Well, The Terminator would still be one, and this as well, for just how tense some of those chase bits are. And you've got like the Terminator, the end scene particularly, where he's crawling through that machine and then eventually crushes him. So that still stuck with me. I was like, oh Christ. But the thing is, I loved the film. I was like, this is so cool. So, you sort of offset that. But yeah, I'm sure my mum wasn't too thrilled about it. But I thank him for that because...
yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that is a lot of effort to go to as well. So fair play. I would have just scarred you for life.
Yeah.
The thing I remember watching was The Fly, the Jeff Goldblum
I've
Fly.
never seen it. Yeah,
way too young. Oh my god, scared the shit out of me. Like the whole body transformation horror thing. Oh my, like I was basically just like covering my eyes. I was like at a sleepover at a friend's house. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
I was in primary school, so what would have been probably
10,
8 or 9. I reckon 8 or 9. Yeah. Yeah, maybe 9. Yeah, and it's like that is too long. That's too young to watch The Fly. Jesus. Yeah. You got anything else on production?
Yeah, so I've just got a few examples of bits I really enjoyed about the production, just little scenes and whatnot. So, like I said, I think a lot of the exposition is very tight and direct, which is just fantastic for a film in this tone. Let's sort of get on with it. We have we are a rescue team. We're not assassins. This is in the opening scene when he's sort of going back and forth with Dylan. Obviously, that's just telling us a little bit about...
Bit of backstory, but...
a bit about them. Very, very simple. And then, bosh, we're straight into the CHOPPA scene. The music kicks off, the Long Tall Sally. Like you said, they're doing a bit of their intros for each of the team. And like, he's the the backy one. He's the, very, very cool. And then... Even that itself is another example because we get that. That's a bit of sort of levity, and then the red light goes on or whatever it is, and there's like, we're dropping now, and the music changes.
Well, the faces change as well. They get their game faces on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're down to business now.
And you get the sense. You did get the sense of like this is a team that's done this. Yeah, together.
Yeah,
right. From that, and I think it was mainly that bit where they basically all looked at each other as like.
Yeah, we're on here. Yeah. There's a shot of Blaine before he fires his chain gun. Do you remember what his chain gun's called? Old Painless. It's time to get Old Painless out the bag.
Was it like a computer game? It was called like a BFG, like the big fucking gun.
Yeah, the big fucking gun. That was Doom.
Is it Doom?
It's Doom. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was Duke Nukem or
no.
Or
I think the big fucking gun is like a laser type thing.
Oh, is it?
I don't think it's a chain gun, but yeah, that was Doom.
Minigun, right?
Yeah.
Same thing?
Yeah. but I don't think that was the BFG.
No, in this one, sorry.
But yeah, it's minigun, yeah. The shot of him as he unveils that is fantastic because as an explosion goes off, as we said, a real one goes off behind him, and he's flanked in like a sort of a tunnel of jungle. And he's the body there with his big fuck off gun chewing his backy. Fantastic shot. Hawkins' death is another great one. So he's looking after the girl, and the blood splatters, of course, across her face. So we don't see Hawkins sort of get blown up, but we see the blood, which I thought was a really good shot. And obviously, then we see her shocked face, just like what the fuck. Really good. What did you think overall about the runtime?
Oh, it was fine. Yeah,
hour 46.
Perfect.
How long do you think it felt? We asked this question last week of Joker.
It felt right. Yeah, it felt about bang on that.
I was watching this quite late. A little longer, I would say.
Yeah, I was watching this. I think I'm kind of taking into account I was watching it quite late. I was a little bit tired, so there were times where I was just, as it goes a little bit quieter, which isn't very often.
Because often I describe films, if you ever read my Letterboxd reviews, when they are as breezy. Right? I don't think this was breezy, but I mean that in a positive way because it was short. And I think the reason it didn't feel breezy, even though it was short, was because so much of it was so tense. Some of the action scenes were very, very tense and drawn out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that maybe left me a little bit colder. I didn't get the tension in the final third, like the 1v1 bit. I did definitely as they were getting picked off and that side, and then as they were discovering the jungle and the bodies and things and all of that bit.
Yeah,
I got the tension then, but it was the last bit which seemed quite long.
Okay.
In terms of that 1v1, and because I liked the gang, the group working together. Yeah, you like
the camaraderie a lot.
I would have liked not just Arnie on his own and the nameless woman, but have maybe two or three still duking out at the end, working together to do it rather than Invincible Arnie.
See, I really liked the end bit again because we get back to competency porn a bit. We get that nice little montage where he's setting up all the traps.
The second montage of setting up traps and
that's right,
and weapons as well, which I think is just like a little bit repetitive because that's effective. Home Alone, I call it. Home Alone style.
Yeah, it's a bit Home Alone. But it's different though, right? Because the first time they are with all their equipment, and the second time it's very much a bushcraft sort of survivalist thing. Yeah,
but I think it would have been more effective if you didn't have that first one, where you've just got the bushcraft bit.
You've already touched on it. If they made this film today, this film goes way beyond 2 hours.
Yeah.
We have loads of unnecessary backstory. We have...
quiet moment.
The action seems to be well drawn out as well. I said that there were... Just a minute ago, I said some of them are quite tense and drawn out, but I mean, I don't think they're repetitive, and I think we'd see a lot of repetition if they made it today. Like I said, there is an exception. I think the guerrilla war camp's a bit samey. But
did you say, as I said before, there'd be a lot of repetition?
Yes. Yeah.
Good stuff. Without a hint of irony. Okay, let's move on to the plot, which we've already talked all over during the production, but hey-ho, who cares? If you do care, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, overall, I would just like to say that the plot, I think, is one of its strengths in that it is simple, it's lean, it has some fucking stupid parts, but I think that's almost part of the genre, in a way. So a couple of bits, I'm calling this plot, where they figure out, right, that it's only attacking people with weapons, like it's not attacking the woman.
No sport.
Don't throw away the weapons, though, do they? Make it,
I think it's too late for them, isn't it?
Oh, you think? Because they've already identified them as a thing. Okay, well,
I think it's too late for them.
I alluded to this in the last section with Invincible Arnie. So, like, someone gets shot by the predator and basically, explodes their chest or whatever. Arnie gets shot, and he's just got like a scratch and does like half of an individual medley afterwards.
Yeah, he does do a lot of that. That's Blaine getting shot actually in the chest, as opposed to Arnie just gets like clipped on the shoulder, doesn't he? But
But it's part of the territory, isn't it?
You're quite right, but yeah, it is very much, hey, it's an action film, people.
Yeah, exactly.
This is our hero.
So the main bit where I thought this fell down in terms of plot-wise was where they did try and almost go against the grain, right, and try and bring some emotion to it, where I thought it fell down. With Mac, was it Mac? I think it was Mac.
Yeah.
It was like, he was my friend.
After Blaine's death,
yeah. And I just felt like that would have been a lot more effective had we, I don't know, maybe just seen some of the friendship. That they seemed to have shared a drink that was literally it. Like, they didn't really even allude to it, I don't think, in like the helicopter intro, which might have helped make that seem a bit more believable. And they have that scene, and then they sort of pile it on again with like, I've written the moon scene. I don't actually recall this. Apparently there was a scene with the moon. Maybe he was looking at the moon. I don't know. I wrote it in my notes. I can't recall it. But it kind of like was laying it on quite thick. I was just like, I just don't think you need it. You could do the quick like shed a tear thing, pour one out for a brother lost and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Didn't really ring true, and it felt a little bit out of the tone.
Fair enough. What did you think to the? And again, we've already talked all over this. What do you think to the plot overall? Like you say, it's pretty direct and simple.
It's lean.
But the execution of it,
yeah, I thought it was pretty simple.
Yeah, well, I thought it just like a nice level of sort of intrigue about it.
Well, as I said, the change where they think they're doing one thing, and then it slowly moves into. You've essentially got 3 different movies in here, 3 different parts of the movie where it goes from a traditional commando style thing to a slasher, then to a sort of face-off side things.
I mean, I think. We did say this about Star Wars, actually.
Yeah,
a simple plot done well is all you need.
It is.
And often, actually,
and then
gets in the way, doesn't it?
The following films, you can over-explain everything.
Oh God, yeah. But I think they do it really well. I think there's plenty of bits as we're going along that that help to sort of keep it interesting. I've made a note about Duke to Dylan. Bill Duke, so Mac to Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of a jump scare there, sort of early on, where it's almost a bit of a rug pull, actually. If you're familiar with the rug pull term. Yes.
Thank you for checking.
Well, I guess I was hoping you'd say no, and we could explain it for anybody who didn't.
No, I don't know what the rug pull is, Carl. Please explain it.
Nah, fuck you. So it's early on. It's fairly early on. So we've been watching sort of Predator vision, for want of a better term, and we know that it's watching them. And then we get a bit of a jump, and it's actually Mac to Dylan who goes in with him and says, "You've been, what did he say?
Crashing
You've been snaking us, or you reveal our position again. I'm gonna kill you or whatever." Which again, I think is just a little detail where you just think, "Oh yeah, they sort of know what they're doing here. They're going to keep us on our toes, sort of thing." There's a couple of really cool bits with the tripwire as well. Probably should have included this in production. But where they get...
Well, we covered all the plot in production. We might as well cover all the production and plot. Fuck it.
Where they're like, oh shit, nearly got... I think there's one when they're going into the guerrilla camp, and then there's one where he nearly trips over his own tripwire when they're trying to trap the thing. Which I just think is really cool. Again, just another little thing, like they kept putting these little things in to like keep you on your toes. Like,
like the giant pig.
Yeah, did you actually see the pig?
Yeah, well, after it was dead. Yeah. It was a massive pig. Yeah, I mean...
could you found anything bigger?
Yeah. Death scenes.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk death scenes.
Yeah.
So, we obviously see the skinned bodies in the... are they in the helicopter or just near the helicopter?
Yeah, it's near the helicopter, isn't it? I don't know what I feel about that,
What, they're showing the skinned bodies?
Yeah.
Trophies, though, I suppose, isn't it? It's showing... It's like, oh, what? Oh, that's weird.
I
They're
know.
not just dead. They're, that's odd. That's...
But I kind of prefer it if you can be a bit smarter with how you show your gore. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it was pretty explicit.
But then on the other hand, the tone of this film, where it is so unapologetically brash, maybe it fits better with that. But yeah, it does the job though. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, it didn't seem out of place to me.
No, I don't think it was out of place. No.
So I thought the Blaine death scene was pretty good. Like the whole chest exploding thing. It's just and then the explanation is like it's cauterized.
Yeah.
All the things like okay,
Yeah.
interesting. The Dylan one I thought was decent as well because he loses the arm, so you have a little bit of a shot with the one-armed guy. Bit of a hero death, probably like going down fighting.
I thought Max was very scary as well.
What
Max is immediately after that.
What happens? Headshot.
He's crawling through. Yeah, he's crawling through
Headshot's
the
good.
undergrowth after he's seen him. It's like, I see you, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you just see the 3 dots on.
Yeah, the 3 dots is cool actually.
And
Yeah, the tracks, and then it's just
Christ, that's creepy.
And it's the 3 dots, right? Is interesting because it's just like a traditional sniper single dot thing, but it's 3 dot. You're like, just thinking of doing that. It's just like
doing it different.
It's different. Yeah, exactly.
Do it different.
Yeah, I did like that. And then during the Dylan scene, you have the Wolverine moment where the Predator gets the shing, audible sharpness.
Audible sharpness. Yeah.
Comes out. The one death scene I thought, which they didn't really show, which I was very upset about because it's my favourite character. Billy. He deserved something. Or I thought he comes back.
But then you get that cool, he's raw going through the jungle, and you get all the things back. It's like, oh shit, it's got him. Right, we better move, sort of thing.
Yeah, but not Billy. Do one of the others.
Billy
deserved the Dylan death.
He was so crucial to the whole sort of
tracking part of
vibes.
Yeah,
I know you like vibes. Mm-hmm. The vibes of this very simple plot. But he really sort of made that element of it tick. Yeah. The whole intrigue and the
because you all had that sixth sense, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which you believed as well.
Absolutely. And then like he scares others when he's scared. I think it's Poncho goes, bullshit, you ain't scared of no man. So well, yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah, so I thought he deserved a hero death or a return where he has a hero moment, where he's not quite dead and maybe does something to save someone else and something then dies, or something, just give him something a little bit more. Maybe that would be a bit cheesy and a bit over the top. I don't know. But I think it would have fit. I don't think I've got much else for plot,
I just think, I will just be repeating myself.
I'll stop it.
I know. I do just think it is just really well executed. Every sort of little bit is done with a bit of purpose, and there's very little that's sort of indulgent. I think I know you've said maybe you only need one of the sort of Home Alone bits. Yeah,
there's a couple of duplicative bits or repetitive bits that you could just add a bit of variety, just add a little bit more variety. Yeah.
But I mean, not something I picked up. I think they're sort of different enough, but. It's weird, isn't it? Because so often we say, like, in our defence, actually, we haven't said this, but a simple plot is used as a negative.
Yeah, I think,
and it isn't, because there's you don't have to be a quote unquote smart film to be a good film. No. You can just execute something simple really well, which is what we've got here, and I think it really works. The razor and shave scene that you mentioned earlier, that's pretty iconic, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I've certainly seen that referenced a few times. I know one of my friends, that's one of the scenes he always calls out. It's like the shaving with the razor is kind of creepy because obviously he hasn't got a beard. It's almost like he's shaving his sweat off, isn't it?
Yeah. Really, it's very much clean shaven.
Really good shot. What do you like do you like the bit where they are trying to trap it? And Dylan goes, what are you going to try next? Cheese?
Oh, I don't recall that.
And Arnie's like, yeah, go on then. He like stands up and sort of tries to lure it out, which they do, but then he gets away. Did you like the clicking from the Predator?
The sort of mandible clicking thing. Yeah, I did like that.
It's
part of the design. Yeah, part of its whole design, right? It's a thought through from how it looks to how it sounds to how it.
But you hear it all the way through.
Yeah. That's what I mean, but it's connected, right? And because when you do it, go, well, it would do a clicky, soundy thing, wouldn't it?
What did you think about when he goes off the waterfall and then he is trying to get away? That whole scene. Well, because the reason I ask, because you like the dog chase in No Country for Old Men so much.
Yeah, I didn't find that this was as.
I thought there was a lot of similarities.
Didn't think this was as tense from that.
So he thinks he's got away, and then
he
you
does,
hear
but
the
then he
splash
appears
behind him. And
yeah, but it's just a bit different because it's the dog chasing No Country for Old Men. It's like a pursuit that you can see him getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, and it's like shit. His gun won't do that. Oh, is he gonna get? And the last minute he gets it and shoots the dog, which obviously everyone loves.
Yes, everyone. Yeah, I think that's definitely what we said.
That and whipping horses.
Yes. What about the way when he is doing his sort of showdown bit? Obviously, he's all mudded up and
washes off very easy, that mud, by the way.
Yeah, it does. And then it appears like right behind him, and he's like shit. And you, like you just said, you see his eyes, Apocalypse Now style. You remember that?
No, don't remember that.
I'm glad you really paid attention to it. So the bit you said you thought dragged, it turns out you don't remember any of it.
Yeah, well,
I wonder what could have gone wrong here.
It's quite long though, right? That part. It's quite a large section of the film.
Well, there's
more than maybe you would expect.
I sort of said
like the last man standing.
There's a pre and post Home Alone bit that form that last section where it's
and after he's got rid of the girl, really, isn't it?
Man against man. Yeah, it's him against the predator. Yeah.
After she got to the chopper.
Get to the chopper, iconic line.
It's funny how that's an iconic line.
Yeah,
like why? It's like there's nothing to it, is there?
I don't know why. It's very functional.
It's just the way he said it.
Get to the chopper.
Literally, if a normal American dude just said, "Get to the chopper."
Yeah.
Oh, do get to the chopper, darling.
You can't do that.
No,
yeah.
not gonna.
I mean, he delivers the other line similarly when he's trying to get it right. I'm here, kill me.
Yes. Yeah. He's trying to get him stuck in the trap. Come on!
What are you waiting for? Kill me.
That's good. Your Arnie's much better than mine.
You did say it was one of its strengths, and I completely agree. Right level of intrigue, execution I thought was fantastic, and just a stone cold action thriller. I loved it. Glad there was no romantic subplot.
Oh God!
Because
can you
again,
imagine Jesus
today that'd be in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. We're different times, better times.
That would have been awful. All right, so move on to any changes. So up to 3 changes that we want to see. I think you've already given it away. You've already said you've only got 1. So what was your 1 again?
I've only got 1. So for me, they do such a good job of slow dripping the reveal of the predator in, which is why it's so effective. You don't need the scene which you didn't even know existed, which is the pre-credits reveal of the fact that it's an alien.
Yeah, I don't remember that. It's very annoying now you've pointed out.
Yeah, so
I moved my needle. That
I would have got rid of that. And it's funny as well because my friend that I was watching it with said to me, and I'd already written this down, said to me at the end, he said, the only change I'd make is to get rid of that. Already got you, mate.
So you couldn't do a podcast with this clown. You'd just be repeating yourself.
Yeah.
That's what podcast would be if all it was you repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Jeez, terrible.
Especially if the person hosting it was just echoing my thoughts, it'd be worse than it is.
All right, so my 3. I do have 3. I just come up with 3. I think I've mentioned them all.
Picky bastard.
As well. So the he was my friend angle, trying to make me have feelings in this kind of movie. I don't need the feelings. Stop trying to make me feel, damn it.
I didn't have any feelings in this movie. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But you could have cut that out. I think you just didn't.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
The slightly too early reveal, and I mean slightly. Like they could have just drip it a little bit more.
Don't hate it.
And then a glorious death for Billy. That's all I wanted. I love Billy. Give me more Billy, less Arnie, more Billy. I could have been more Billy, less Arnie. That's fine. Yeah. Arnie's fine, but Billy's interesting. All right, this is why you're wrong. So our closing statement from each of us, and Carl, you get to go first.
I used this in a review recently, and I really like it.
It was about repeating yourself again, just in a different medium.
Yeah.
Carry on.
It was about Cocktail.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the criticism of Cocktail, and I said, to paraphrase the dude, they're not wrong. They're just assholes.
Did you use that before? You haven't used that on the pod. That's just
no. I used it on my review on Letterboxd of the criticism of Cocktail, and I feel it's very similar here because you can nitpick this film, and you wouldn't necessarily be wrong. But for what this film sets out to be, a very secure, very macho action film, for me, it absolutely nails it, and it's an absolute classic of the genre. I loved it, and we know I haven't got the time for this, but I can't wait to watch it again.
When we got bored of the podcast, you can rewatch all your heart's content. So I came into this going, The Thing is a similar sort of comparison piece for me in terms of how I originally watched it, didn't really love it, rewatched it again, and kind of through making notes, writing things down and thinking about it, you kind of go, actually, there's a lot of really good things about this. I think this falls foul of the genre. Just it's not my like go-to thing. It's also not one I watched a lot of times younger.
We haven't spoken about this yet, and I have to jump in here on this because it actually makes sense to do so. Alien.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that as a kid.
Right.
So when I've recently watched that, and I need to rewatch that because I realised when I watched this last night, I'll probably really like it. Yeah. But when I watched it, I was like, this is a bit of a disappointment because I didn't have that childhood attachment to it either. So that can play a part. But really, I think it's me that just needs to fucking lighten up and be like...
Well, I think there's a little bit of that as well. It's appreciate these sort of movies for what they are, because they are very much genre pieces, right? They are of a genre. This is what you should be expecting. You shouldn't be expecting depth. You shouldn't be expecting, a really complex plot, which this doesn't have, and is actually to its strength. There are things that I would change by it. I would change. Wait, what am I trying to say? There are things I would change. Just stop talking.
Welcome to my fucking world.
There are things that I would change, but I said at the start there's a potential for a moving of the needle after the rewatch. So
how are you coming up, baby?
I think I might be. Yeah. So I was originally I don't like. I don't think I can say I don't like it. I think there's too much to like about it. I do have problems with it. It does still leave me cold. I still do have a little bit of a problem with the length of the final section and it being a man versus monster rather than team versus monster. But it shouldn't really get in the way of it being its genre. It's a really good example of it. So I mean, I'm definitely a meh. I think if I'd watched
not on the scale, but
ambivalent. Shit, sorry. We should really just say
meh.
We
should say meh.
Yeah. Ambivalent. I think I've definitely moved up to ambivalent. I think, if I had watched this more previously, or it was more touch points.
Yeah.
In my youth, I think it definitely would.
Watch it again. There's a like hiding in the bag somewhere.
Maybe. There's another one though. It'd be fun to watch with a group of mates, right? Because you can appreciate the silliness a bit more than if you're watching it on your own.
100%.
And when your wife goes to bed halfway through,
She not like
less
it.
fun. No, she just can't stay up late, mate. Okay, let's close things out with the data section. So, some ratings for us. So, IMDb, 7.8. Pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a popular film. It is. Reading the reviews, there's a lot more positive person reviews rather than critic reviews than not. Letterboxd 3.8, so ever so slightly lower, but pretty much there. Metascore, so the critic thing, 47.
Miserable, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think we mentioned this before. It's if you're going in with your eyes open about what you're watching and the genre you're watching and appreciate within that, then come on. I mean, having said that, my score was about that same. So I started off
miserable, isn't he?
I started off like 2.5 kind of thing. So it could go up to a 3, maybe. Yeah, 3. It probably deserves a 3. I can give it a 3, a 6 out of 10.
I mean,
I'm comfortable with that. What about you, Carl? What was yours?
I can't. It's a 4.5.
4.5. Oh,
and I'll definitely be clicking the like heart on Letterboxd. And that's a genre thing, because for me it hits the beats of the genre it is so well.
Yep. So can you guess the one Oscar it was nominated for?
Effects, maybe?
Yeah. It was beaten out by, in a 2-horse race,
Oh, really? Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
by Inner Space.
Not seen it.
Have you heard of it? You know what it is?
Don't think so.
It's where someone gets shrunk in a machine and gets inserted in someone's body and drives around their body and stuff. You might have been in Disney. You might have been in the ride Adventure Through Inner Space.
Don't think so.
Do you recall it? Did you not go Disney as a kid? Didn't you?
No, not as a kid. I went as a young adult.
Oh, okay. You might still have been.
Don't recall.
But I completely forgot that existed. That film. We've got all these memories going on. It's a simulator ride at Disney. So you sort of go in there through you get to the blood vessels and you go out the anus and no, it doesn't do that. But yeah, so there you go. It lost out on the one Oscar it was nominated for back when there weren't that many with visual effects apparently because there was only 2 nominated, and not with good visual effects. Rewatchability, Carl. Where does this fall on your scale?
Like I said, I can't.
Very
wait.
yes.
I can't, yeah, it's a very. I can't wait to watch it again.
I'm going to say it's a yes. Right? It's stupid enough that you could easily rewatch it without engaging your brain.
Stupid, by the way.
I mean. It's light. Let's call it light.
Yes, it's light. Skinned alive. Yeah, no.
Best scene?
Yeah, well, you might like this because mine is the showdown.
That's a long scene.
It is a long scene. Yeah.
So mine's part of that scene.
If I were to narrow it down, it is the very final bit where he's crawling on his back through trying to get away from it after being thrown around, and then he eventually kills it. It doesn't go for his trap.
No.
It goes around and you're like, but then he's got the one last thing. Yeah, I think it's a really tense scene. I love it. It's really good.
Yep. So mine is particularly the part where it's the one-on-one fight scene, but where it's revealed the true scale of him. So you're like, Arnie, he's a big lad, and he's just like this absolute beast.
Yeah, by the way, production as well. What a shot that is.
With the shadows. That was one of the
silhouettes, sorry, I should say.
Yes. That stood out.
Amazing.
Stood out for me.
Yeah.
Best quote, you got a few to pick from.
So I've only got 4. We said some others. I think there's quite a few. I think 4. 2 of them are Jesse the Body Ventura.
Ooh, okay. Ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, ain't got time to bleed is one, and then his other one is, this stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Is that a tobacco thing?
It's about the tobacco. Yeah. And it's the way, like I said, he's not acting, that bloke. Like, I know, it was very funny, it was very good. My honourable mention for Arnie is the iconic, get to the chopper.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. But my favourite one is, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
It's so badass, that. And it's true. It's like very menacing, competent. Oh, they mean business, these guys. Yeah, great.
If it bleeds Mountain Dew, we can kill it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Probably what your blood looks like after excessive consumption of Mountain Dew.
So the other one that I had, which you've not called out, was, you're one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, doesn't it say that back to him as well?
Yeah. Favourite character?
We're on the same page.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy. Fantastic.
Yeah, Billy.
Really good.
Tearjerker.
Nope.
Very no. Very
very no.
Very no. Jerker.
Very no.
Do muscles count? Just the gratuitous muscle showing?
Oh, there's a lot of
that. Because there's also like, and I think I mentioned this, during the Home Alone bit where he's doing like the bow and arrow. He's basically doing like bodybuilder moves. Where he's just like, oh, here we go. So it's like that's a little gratuitous. It's not exactly nudity, but it's certainly gratuitous.
Loved it.
All right, top 3 Arnie films. Not difficult, I didn't think.
Really?
Yeah, to come up with the 3. Like, I thought there's 3 standouts for me.
I had to choose between.
Well, do you want to do your honourable mentions first?
Well, I mean, I like a lot of Arnie films.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Commando. I like Total Recall's a bit daft, but I like it. Paul Verhoeven in it. I think The Running Man's a bit smarter. That's a good film. I really like Eraser, which is a bit later. You know, fan of the sort of The Sixth Day, those sorts of things. You've got his comedic phase. Kindergarten Cop always has a soft spot for. I thought Twins was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe less so Junior. You know, I like a Christmas film. Jingle All the Way.
I really I was meant to have rewatched that recently, and the bloody family watched it without me. I was fuming.
It's really fun. It's really fun. It's not good, but it's really fun. So I like a lot of Arnie films. So
what's your three? Two.
My number 3. I really wanted to put True Lies in, but I think I'm going to have to leave it out because my number 3 is The Terminator.
Okay, first one.
What's your number 3?
It's Total Recall.
Right, it's a good film.
No, I like Total Recall. It's fun. Got some good quotes in that.
Yeah. My number 2.
Yep.
It's Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Ooh, mine's True Lies.
Good film.
Rewatched again recently as well, stands up.
I haven't watched it in a while. I can see me absolutely loving it. I did see a clip recently. Jamie Lee Curtis, the striptease scene. Very, very sexy scene.
Very.
Yeah.
Hides a Cockwell.
so go the rumours. Oh, how awful was that, by the way? Just 'cause she had a slightly long
crazy.
It's like, have you seen her? Yeah, no, she's great in that film as well.
Yeah. No, I really like it.
I really like
definitely
it.
watch it. It's great fun.
My number 1, therefore.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
No, I just said Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
No, you said, see, what? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't.
True Lies I had to leave out
okay.
because I had to put the Terminator
Okay,
in there.
so number 1.
Number 2, Terminator 2.
So number 1's this?
Number 1 is this. It's Predator. Yeah.
Okay. So my number 1 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yeah, great film.
Yeah. And again, one of those I watched a lot in my younger days as well.
Yeah.
So very much stuck with me. Okay, cool. Honourable mentions for me: Kindergarten Cop,
Good
lot of fun.
Yep.
Twins, lot of fun.
Yep.
And have you seen Agent State Farm?
No.
It's like an advert, like a long advert that he recorded for the Super Bowl this year. Definitely watch it. It's brilliant. It just basically plays on him not being able to say words properly. So he's recording an advert. He's got to say the word neighbour, and he goes neighbour. No, it's just neighbour. I said that neighbour.
yeah.
And then at one point they said like, "Come on, get in the chopper," and then she goes, "It's chopper." No,
yeah.
It's good fun. You should watch it. It's on YouTube. It's only about a minute and a half long. Go for it. Gaps in my Arnie filmography that I've not watched. So Conan the Barbarian, not watched it.
I don't mind them. That's not quite my.
I don't think I've seen Commando.
Good. Fun.
Escape Plan I've not seen.
Escape Plan is predominantly actually a Sly film rather than an Arnie film, okay. But has a nice little twist to it. It's not bad.
Thanks. Now you told me there's a twist. I'll just be sat there waiting for a twist.
Yeah.
And then Running Man I've not seen either.
Oh, that's a good film.
So a bit of a few gaps there.
Have you seen Hunger Games?
Hunger Games?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Running Man's like a better Hunger Games.
Better?
Oh, yeah.
All right, fair enough. You got anything else?
Only to say, and we'll put the link up, and maybe I'll even put the audio in the episode, but everyone should check out Predator the Musical.
Okay. How long is this?
It's only 3 minutes. It's a YouTube clip.
We can have an optional...
Fantastic. But we said... If you haven't got time to watch the film, maybe watch the trailer when we sort of backed away from that.
Just give it away.
You could probably watch Predator the Musical and get the gist. But it's fantastic.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to watch this as soon as I've finished this.
Yes.
True. Okay. So that is all we've got. So if we move the needle for you, or even if we didn't, please rate us, follow, subscribe wherever you are listening. Leave us a 5-star review on all of those platforms. It really does. Oh, I didn't update this. It really does. Suck the toes of the algorithm and get us out there to a much... I don't know where it goes. It gets us out there to a much larger, more aspirational audience.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. This is what happens when you don't prepare. So our Twitter and Instagram's NTM Movie Pod. You can also find our page on Facebook. Details can all be found in the show description, and we've got our YouTube channel at Movie the Needle. Jesus Christ. This is worse than usual. I do apologise. So anyway, from me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, I am off to continue working my way backwards through the Eric Bana filmography. I've watched Munich, Troy, Hulk, and Black Hawk Down, so it won't be long before I get to the chopper.
It's using the trees, watching and waiting, killing us off one by one. The chopper is close, but this thing is too fast. We won't make it, it's pointless to run. Talk, no more games.
I don't know what it was. the jungle came alive.
Go on.
It happened very fast, not easy to describe, but you must have wounded it, unless my eyes deceive. When the big man was killed, its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. She discovered the key. There is proof we can wound it. So repeat after me. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, now take a stand.
Here now, take a stand.
We can bring down this basket.
We can bring down this basket.
If we stick to the plan. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Something's out there.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Waiting for us. 2 or 3 men out there at the most. Am I the only one who's awake? I don't believe in goblins and ghosts. Fucking lizard, give me a break.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
An expendable asset.
Yeah, now take a stand.
I woke up, why don't you?
So instead of complaining,
Bullshit's not gonna
you should
work.
give us a hand.
I got nothing better to do.
I saw it, goddammit, those eyes, they disappeared. It cut down my friend and it ran while I emptied that gun.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I saw it, goddammit.
Stop shaving, you don't have a beard.
That thing will come back, and when it does, I'm gonna have me some fun.
If it bleeds,
I'm gonna have me some fun.
If it bleeds, if it bleeds.
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
We can pull out the
We
wind,
can pull out a wind.
set a trap for the
Set
monster,
a trap for the monster.
while we still have our skin.
While we still have our skin.
If it bleeds, we can
2
kill
or
it.
3 men out there.
I believe it can
I'm the
fall.
only one who's awake.
When you're feeling downhearted, just remember the call. If it bleeds, we can kill it. If it bleeds, I can kill it. Now it's all up to me. Mud all over my body, so the bastard can't see. It's a solo campaign now. Get revenge for my name. Hawkins, Mac, and Ramirez. Billy, Dylan, and Flame.